land. We are the continent of the west, far off the island, where the trees grow big in the fertile earth. Sometimes I'll wonder, come on, is there any earth? Come on, oh my Andros, she wakes, 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 Andros, she wakes, oh my Andros, she wakes, 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 Andros,
Andros, especially South Andros, is continuing to develop and inviting all to come and experience its down-home hospitality like Confest. So says the Ministry of Tourism's McCoy Wilson.
What is being done for tourism in this part of the Bahamas? Because there's so much richness, so much talent, so much creativity, so much things to do, even though most people say there ain't nothing to do in the Family Islands. What is tourism doing to promote South Andros?
Well, tourism is doing a lot to promote South Andros in full that we have a calendars of events. We're going after targeting the various market in terms of getting our guests to come to the shore to spend some money, especially when you look at it, the bone fishing capital of Andros. It will be in South Andros where all the tourists will come, and our season is about to kick off right now in the next 2 days or so. And also, like I said, the calendar of events. We have calendar events each and every month except for 3 or 4 months out of the year. There's a tourism event. There's also Junkanoo excitement in the island as well.
And indeed, Junkanoo capped off a successful Conch Festival. So make your way to the Family Islands to experience real island living. And members of the Conch Fest Committee want you to make your way to South Andros to enjoy Conch Fest.
Did you know that if a fire starts in your home, you may have as little as 2 minutes to escape? Keep your family and home safe with these few fire safety preparation and prevention tips. Ensure that your home has working smoke detectors. They will alert you if there is smoke and fire in your home. Install a smoke detector on every level of your home, inside each bedroom and outside each sleeping area. Test smoke detectors every month and change the batteries every 6 months. Home fires can spread rapidly and every second counts. Create an escape plan and practice it with everyone in your home. Make sure everyone can safely escape in less than 2 minutes. Keep escape routes as clutter-free as possible so no one trips or falls on the way out during an emergency. In addition to smoke detectors, fire extinguishers is an important device to have on hand. To use a fire extinguisher, remember the acronym PASS. Pull the pin, aim the nozzle, squeeze the handle, and sweep from side to side at the base of the fire. We must all do our parts to ensure that our families and homes are safe in the event a fire occurs. On behalf of the Commissioner of Police, the Director of Fire Services, and all officers of the Fire Department, let's work together to help prevent fires, because fire safety is everyone's responsibility, and the life you save may be your own.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, motorists be aware gas prices is expected to climb in the days ahead. Demolition underway in the International Bazaar. And the Grand Bahama finishes in the top 10 in the USA Today Travel Awards competition. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now. This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Topping the news, gas prices could hit the roof in the coming days. While Russia and the Ukraine are fighting a war thousands of miles away, it would have a rippling effect right here at home. Residents are urged to brace themselves for what could be the highest gas price in recent time. Jay Philippe reports.
The battle between Russia and Ukraine has become the main topic of conversation around the world. With the crisis ongoing, a major concern now for residents is the anticipated increase of gas prices, which could climb as high as $8 per gallon. But according to Chief Price Inspector Reno Smith, the cost of gas at 12 a.m. this morning was $4.96.
For the first time in a little while, we're having gas at less than $5. So I would suggest to everyone that before we get to that $8 per gallon mark, we take advantage of the reduction in gas prices today by filling up our tanks. $4.96, you can't beat that.
Smith explains how the process of fuel increase works.
The local gas provider would have applied to the Ministry of Economic Affairs, Consumer Affairs Division, requesting a price change in gas, and permission would have been given to them, and as a result of that, the present stock cannot be sold for $8. The present stock is scheduled to be sold at $4.96 in Freeport, and so that $8 per gallon will eventually come.
Even with that, Smith is urging residents not to panic, as there is no shortage of gas on island.
One good thing about Freeport is we have oil refinery right here on this island, and so gas already here in great proportion, and so the present supply would have to be exhausted before new supplies come in with a change in price.
All in all, Smith is advising residents to be critical with spending, while also alerting residents to expect the cost of fuel in the coming days to increase. I'm Jay Philippe, ZNS Network News.
Well, a Grand Bahama man escaping serious injuries today following an accident on the bridge at the Fishing Hole Road. Police tells us that the man lost control of his vehicle at the entrance of the bridge, crashed into the guardrails, and was able to drive off to the side of the road towards the creek. A portion of the guardrail at the entrance of the bridge was broken. Investigations are continuing. Meantime, demolition work has commenced at the International Bazaar. The shopping center was gutted by a series of fires late last year that left the abandoned shopping district in shambles, with just the walls of the majority of the building standing. This past Monday, phase 1 of the demolition process began. Heavy equipment moved in, and reports say the old Ginza building was torn down. Now, officials of the Grand Bahama Port Authority say their role is to agitate and have the owners get involved in the process. Meantime, while phase 1 is underway, port officials say there are many more to go, and they are encouraging owners to come forward and work together with them to devise a plan to have the buildings demolished for the overall enhancement of the city. In other news, the Ministry of Housing breaking ground yesterday for a housing project in Central Pines, Abaco. Hurricane Dorian destroyed many of the homes in the Abacos, leaving many residents homeless. The housing project is expected to deliver relief for those in search of affordable housing more than 2 years after that catastrophic storm. The housing initiative will include some 48 homes, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and 3-bedroom and 2-bath homes that will be constructed through public-private partnerships. Applicants attended a home fair at the government complex yesterday, a one-stop shop for residents to qualify. Now, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis and Minister of Housing JoBeth Coley Davis were in Abaco for a groundbreaking ceremony. The nation's leader noting that the affordable homes will be built at a relatively low cost, but consistent with the standard of quality envisioned for that neighborhood. Now, Grand Bahama finishing in the top 10 in the beach experience category of the USA Today Reader's Choice Travel Awards. Tony Macaroni had his conch experience on the Tino Beach, closing out the top 10. That's behind beach bars in Anguilla, Turks and Caicos, and Grenada. Marketing consultant with the Grand Bahama Promotion Board, Carmel Churchill, calls it a great accomplishment.
That Tony Macaroni conch experience is still relevant in our tourism market today, as well as the destination Grand Bahama Island. And so for next year, we just need to work a little bit harder in making sure that he climbed the scale. Congratulations to Tony Macaroni's conch experience for ranking within the top 10 best Caribbean beach bars. Tony Macaroni has held this position for a number of years, and so for him to remain here, this is, it's still a win for Grand Bahama.
However, Grand Bahama did not make the top 10 in the beaches category. Fortune Beach and Gold Rock Beach were nominated. Churchill says much more work must be done to get the island back on top in the beaches category.
We're going to have to work a little bit harder to ensure that Grand Bahama gets within the top 10 and bring home a #1 position. Grand Bahama has 44 named beaches on Grand Bahama Island, and so certainly we should be able to have our, at least 2 of our best beaches ranked within the top 10, as we've been before. Fortune Beach and Gold Rock Beach have been holding that position for quite some time. So it is disappointing that we're not in the top 10 beaches this year, but I'm sure that next year we'll be back.
Now, Banana Bay Resort was also nominated but fell short of the top 10 awards. Switching gears, a memorial service for the late Arthur Balfour taking place at the St. George's High School Gymnasium. On January 31st, the security officer was found dead at the school while working the midnight shift. Family members, colleagues, and friends gathered to pay their tribute and remember his life. It was a special ceremony filled with tributes in honor of a fellow colleague and friend. Senior Master of St. George's High School, Vincent Roll, organized the ceremony along with the principal and a member of the school board. He says it was only fitting for them to do so.
Well, Mr. Balfour was very important to the staff here at St. George's Senior High School. He was an instrumental part of our security department who made selfless sacrifices in order to do his job, even to the very day that he died. And we thought it'd be fitting that this death would go without us at least acknowledging his contributions and giving him the tribute that we believe he deserved.
Security officer Arthur Balfour, who was assigned to the midnight to 8 a.m. shift, was found dead on campus. Scores of security officers from the division in Grand Bahama on hand to remember the life of their fallen comrade. The tentative officer in charge, Stephanie Comer Griffin, also describes Balfour as a dedicated man.
He joined our family in September of 2010, and he proved himself to be reliable, dedicated. He took his job serious. Mr. Balfour was always on time and always had kind words to say to all that he came in contact with.
She also says he was a loving individual.
As a matter of fact, everyone was Mr. Balfour's sunshine. In particularly, I thought that he was, but I learned today that I wasn't the only one. He made everyone he came in contact with feel loved at all times.
Freeport City Council members also showing their support to family members. Balfour's wife, Renee Balfour, says she is appreciative of the memorial service and notes that it was wonderful.
What I heard the other day, it made me feel happy to know that he's my husband and he left his legacy for his children to sit back and listen to the sounding of love, what he produced on the outside of his home. I teach my children, and even when he do wrong, I would say to him, now you know you shouldn't do that. So whatever he produce out there, I enjoy every moment of it because I know what my family stand for. And it's a joy and privilege to know that he was well respected on the outside.
The funeral service will take place on March 5th at the Invaders for Christ Church, beginning at 11 a.m. Now, Arthur Balfour would have celebrated his 59th birthday tomorrow. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news when we come back.
Come on down. Come on down. Now.
Don't miss the fabulous 25% off store-wide sale at Park & Shop downtown this February 23rd to the 28th, excluding underwear and ragtag items.
Officer Bo! Officer Bo! You would not believe what I just saw. What's up, Chris? As I was doing my community service, I saw this truck going down this road. You would not believe the stuff he was throwing out. He was throwing out tires, refrigerators, TVs, even mattresses.
Calm down, Chris, calm down. Did the truck leave the area yet?
No. It was a big man in a reddish colored truck, and he's still there. I just ran out to the main road to call somebody because I did not want to arrest him by myself. That's good for your nasty self. You know who you are. Stop like your nastiness. So do your part to keep Grandmama clean. And don't let this be you. Oh, they're trying to push rich on me. They want to push rich on me. They don't care in front of company.
The King of the North is back. Howard 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Minister of National Security, the Honorable Wayne Monroe, is the keynote speaker for the launch of the Reach Out Youth Organization in conjunction with the Powerhouse Gym Let's Save Our Youth Mentoring Program. An event is slated for Saturday, February 26th at the Reach Out Center. Organizers say it is a program geared toward rearing young men.
The Lord laid on my heart to launch this new initiative. I think with this new initiative, we'll change the mindset of the youth on this island. We'll also try to deter them from gang activities. This mentoring program will be going to the east, to the west, and all through the island of Grand Bahama. The reason why we said we pick Let's Save Our Youths. Our youths are dying. Our youths prefer joining gangs than churches. They prefer gangs than youth groups. So we decided to put a team together. Junkanoo, entrepreneur, leaders on this in Grand Bahama.
Founder of the Powerhouse Fitness Gym, Omar Isaac, says they will facilitate the programs. He counts it an honor and a privilege to partner with Reach Out Youth Organization. Leader of the Platinum Nights Junkanoo Group, Thomas Curry, adds that their mission is to save youths, and he is fully on board.
At the start of this year, I pulled him to the side and say, we being given away a lot of fish, now we need to teach the youth how to fish. And that sparked a genesis of a day labor program where we're looking to bring in our youth through activities and programs, but especially to bring them into a database of skilled workers where we segment that database and try to pair them with employers who cannot employ them full time, but on a day basis where they bring them into their establishment for 1 or 2 days out the week and, give them a day wage.
There's nothing like being positive in your community and helping the youth to strive for better, because nowadays, if you look at the news, you notice many of the youth that is getting locked up or getting killed never reach the age of 25. So it's important for guys like us who God put in this position to take our knowledge, our wisdom, our understanding, and to help our youth so they can further, so they can reach the age of 70, 80. We want them to live on.
In other news, a local chapter of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated coming together to assist students at the Hugh Campbell Primary School. The group of men led by President Antiato Knowles visited 5th graders at the school where they read books and offered advice to the youngsters. According to Knowles, reaching out to students beginning at the primary school level is a nationwide initiative that the local chapter is passionate about.
Very big on mentorship, and it was good that we had a brother who is based in Detroit, Michigan, who wrote this book called Affirmation Heroes. And the initiative today is really focused on telling the students in the 5th grade the importance of affirmation and speaking positively. And it's important because we wanted to, of course, touch the youth and make sure they understand the importance of it. And we chose 5th grade because they're about to go into 6th grade. We know that they will have leadership positions in the school itself, and so we want them to convey affirmations not only to their classroom, but to their class colleagues, but also to the wider school population.
From one class to another, these men of Omega Psi Phi engaged in fundamental reading with the students. Knowles says the response from the students was overwhelming and adds that there is much more work to be done in the coming months.
Practice doing this, and so it was just great for us to get out of our comfort zones and really get into the classrooms and be the teachers for the day and read to the students. And so we are very happy to put on this initiative. This is only one part of our mentorship program. There's another part where we teach young men actually how to tie a tie, things that they should look forward to if they're going out for a job interview, how they should dress, writing a letter, filling out resumes, or creating job resumes and filling out job applications. Those are things that we have planned that's annually that we do. And so that's the next part of our annual mentorship program.
A local church on Grand Bahama is celebrating the month of March in a special way. Jubilee Cathedral Church, formerly known as St. John's Jubilee, is calling young men to attend church on Sundays beginning on the 5th of the month and every Sunday in the month of March. Pastor Laquez Williams is making an appeal to men in the wider community of Grand Bahama to be a part of the challenge that he believes will ultimately help reshape the inner city communities on the island.
In alignment with our mission statement, what we plan to do for the month of March, this year is going by so fast, we want to make a clarion call for all men to come through these doors here at Jubilee Cathedral, because we believe the men, once the men rise up, it can make a difference in our community. Once the men rise up, it can make a difference in our home. So we have a challenge to invite all of the men to come out.
Now, unlike the traditional church attire for those persons that will be attending in particular, the men are asked to dress casually, as each Sunday in the month will have a different theme.
We're going to make sure we wear the white tee and Nike, and then if you are a Dolphin fan or if you're a Cowboy fan, we want you, there'll be a Sunday that we want you to wear that. That's the 3rd Sunday. We want you to wear your jersey. So any team that you're affiliated with, we want you to come. We want you to come here. And then we're going to have some live conversations as well, that we will have the exchange with men, because I believe a lot of our sons are hurting. A lot of our daughters are hurting because they need the voice of the father. And it's something when you have the voice of the father in the home, it makes a difference. A voice of authority, a voice who not just only supplies, but one who is present and making a difference and impacting the lives of the next generation.
Certainly a great initiative. Jay Philippe is standing up with your Friday evening sports report.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to Sports. Local sports on Grand Bahama is slowly but surely coming back. But what about Abaco and Bimini? Well, the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mary Boleg, gave an update as it relates to local sports on those northern islands.
It's my intent to visit the Northern Islands outside of Grand Bahama, which is Abaco and Bimini, within the next 2 weeks to tour the facilities on those islands so that the individuals there who has the passion and care and concern about getting sports back and going on those islands, that we can be able to upgrade those facilities the best way we know how and in the new budget cycle. And so the visit will be to tour the facilities, see what needs to be fixed, meet with the associations and clubs down there on both islands and see how best they can get started. I know, again, the rules have changed that allow you can have a max of 100 persons outside. Most of those islands play on the outside, so I think basically that they can get started with some of their events, just continue to adhere to the protocols, whether they're indoor or outdoor. There's nothing much stopping them from starting their activities, but other than I know some facilities needs to be furnished and taken care of.
Switching gears now in tennis, we have an update as well from Team Bahamas competing at the 2022 North Central American and Caribbean Pre-Qualifying World Juniors Tennis Tournament. In girls play, Sarai Clark lost 6-4, 6-2 to Costa Rica. Brianne Ferguson also lost 5-7, 1-6 to Costa Rica in singles. In doubles match, the pairing of Sarai Clark and Rachel Thompson put up a strong effort but was unable to get past Team Costa Rica. Now the boys team faced Barbados and won 3-0 overall. The boys have gone 6-0 in 2 matches played in the tournament, led by Gerald Carroll, William McCartney, and the pairing of Jackson McTarget and Gerald Carroll in the doubles. President of the BLTA, Perry Newton, was thrilled with Team Bahamas' performance playing in El Salvador. And wrapping up sports in college hoops actions, Coach Yo and our Ole Miss Lady Rebels waited little time getting started Thursday night at the Auburn Arena with a stellar first quarter en route to a 72-52 victory over Auburn to improve to 22-6 on the year. For the second time in program history, Ole Miss reaches the double-digit mark in SEC wins. And that's a quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. Have a great weekend and be blessed.
Star General's Cash Protector Plan pays a lump sum of cash on the occurrence of a first diagnosis of cancer, heart attack, and various illnesses. Purchase cash amounts from $5,000 to $50,000.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
Are you tired, overweight, having trouble sticking to your health and fitness goals? Well, look no further. The Fitness Connection has teamed up with Z&S to bring you Health Bites. This and every Thursday, tune in, and we'll make sure you get on track and stay on track with your health and fitness goals. Tune in.
Someone take my bike. Call the police. Someone took my bike. Someone took my bike with my point. I leave the car for 1 quick second and someone take my bike.
Crime prevention should be everyone's business. Therefore, we want to remind you not to leave your bags or valuables visibly seen on the seat of your vehicle unattended. This negligent practice will create an opportunity for a criminal to commit a crime. Please desist from such practices.
This message is brought to you by the Royal Bahamas Police Force, creating safer communities.
The Ministry of Health is working to ensure the safety of the Bahamian people. Help us minimize the risk that coronavirus poses to citizens, residents, and visitors by following these 5 easy steps. Step 1, Wet your hands with clean water, apply soap, and lather for 20 seconds by rubbing them together. Include the top of your hands between your fingers and under your fingernails. Rinse your hands under clean water, then dry them with a paper towel or air dry them. Remember to wash your hands before and after eating, preparing a meal, changing a diaper, or caring for the sick, and always after using the bathroom, touching money, shaking hands, or taking out the trash. Step 2. Cough and sneeze in your elbow or upper sleeve, not in your hands, not in the air. Or you can cover your nose and mouth with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Put your used tissue in the trash bin when you're finished. Remember to wash your hands with soap and clean water after you cough or sneeze. Also, remember never to spit on the ground, roads, or in open spaces. Step 3. Ensure that raw meat is properly handled and cooked thoroughly. Step 4. Avoid sharing drinking glasses, eating utensils like spoons and forks, or sharing personal items such as toothbrushes and towels. Germs can live on surfaces we touch, so wipe and disinfect surfaces where germs can live, and keep your surroundings clean. Step 5. Avoid close contact with anyone showing symptoms of respiratory illness, such as coughing or sneezing. Should you or anyone you know feel that you have been exposed to the coronavirus, contact the surveillance unit of the Ministry of Health immediately. To reach us, call 502-4776, 502-4790, or 502-4737. We want Bahamians and those that live with and visit us to remain safe from the coronavirus. To do this, we need the help of each and every one of you to follow the simple steps we have shared. Let's stay safe, Bahamas.
That's what I told her. Bring the winding thing here. This is Reagan script, so show me emotion. Hey, wine and go down low.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Rebecca Lauren, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We thank you so much for watching. We are grateful for your support. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Have a safe and wonderful weekend. But be sure to stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues.
Picture your parents them over there watching you. You want gangbang?
It's back.
You're here because your parents decided to put you in here.
The groundbreaking reality series returns.
You never told me before? Did Rizzian hit me?
Do you know it's still time to get it together?
With never before seen footage.
Come punch me then. Send you to punch him, you punch me?
This ain't no playground. You can know before you leave today. If you leave, if they find some space, I just teach you all how to disrespect.
It's a whole new season.
Don't come here with your movie face, because I ain't buying it.
Watch their transformation.
It bears to be a winner. It bears to be a winner. Being white, you are a unit. You moving as one.
So why you doing what you do? The Ministry of National Security and the ZNS Network presents Shark Treatment. A whole new season coming soon.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report, the Prime Minister's off to Belize. The F&M's new leadership team elected. The Royals are coming. And National High School Golf Championships are back. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Super Fast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Makush Lapinder. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. As the eyes of the world watch Russia's invasion in Ukraine, for Russian President Vladimir Putin, the end game in taking over the neighboring country centers around gaining control of the Ukrainian population and changing the regime. The Ukrainian government isn't backing down, though. According to international reports today, officials there have handed out 18,000 guns to volunteers. They've also issued instructions on how to make petrol bombs. Ukraine reports that at least 137 people, civilians and soldiers, have already been killed, while Russia has not admitted any deaths on its side. There's no doubt this war could have a negative impact on the local economy. In fact, residents are bracing for what's expected to be some of the highest gas prices in recent memory, possibly as high as $8 per gallon. Several motorists here in the capital shared their views with our Carla Palmer.
These residents are well aware of international events, more specifically the ongoing war between Russia and the Ukraine, and the anticipated economic fallout that will affect the price of gas here in the Bahamas.
We know war will create high costs, high prices, so we know Russia produced like 10% of the world gas, so it's expected.
Look at it, if gas is now around the $5 mark, you're talking about adding an additional $3. Just to get 1 gallon. That is to get you to the food store. You only start to spend monies in the food store. And the same gas prices that affect your commute will affect the prices in the food stores.
Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, says it's anticipated that Bahamians may be paying as much as $8 per gallon of gas by spring. And while consumers expect increases any day now, they're also well aware that they have no control over it.
The thing about it is that we need to look at the lifting of persons and their salaries, how we can lift the prices of the persons of whom make these salaries to come back to the prices in the stores and the gas prices, and we can even out the playing field. It would be pretty good because the gas price is going to affect everybody.
To be honest with you, I can't see how we would survive by it, because if you look at the way things are going now, outside of COVID and everything else, salaries not moving. There's no which way the employees or the Bahamians would be able to pay $8 a gallon for gas. Because again, everywhere you could turn, in the food stores, everything going up. So now gasoline, it's going to be very hard on us.
Actually, gas prices always in the Bahamas was high. And for it to go to $8 a gallon, that is going to cripple us in this country because of our economy as it stands right now. What will happen to the parent out there who makes minimum wage as it stands right now? And if they have a transportation, a car to get their children to and from school or wherever, or from work, how will they be able to afford the gas prices?
Already, this group of residents are considering alternatives, which they all seem to agree on.
Less driving, carpool. If persons would be able to play smart, we got to be able to find the way for it when it comes. If persons drive every day, then you need to carpool with other co-workers.
Walking is good, but now you got to look at it. If you walk to work, hygiene, that's going to be the difficult part. You can walk home. You know, you could get a ride to work and walk home. The exercise is good for your heart, it's good for you.
That means that you will now have to park your vehicle, drive it when it's necessary, and catch the public service bus. You know, each family, some yards have up to 3-4 cars. Park 2 and carpool with 2. You understand? All we'll have to do is leave out earlier to drop one another where they have to go.
No matter what, Bahamians are being admonished to simply help each other and pray for peace. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
Well, the war could potentially even deal a heavy blow to the #1 industry. Bahamas Hotel and Tourism Association President Robert Sandy Sands told colleagues during their annual general meeting yesterday that efforts are underway to ensure that fuel costs for members are kept at a manageable level. His comments follow global concerns that the ongoing Russia-Ukraine crisis will lead to a significant spike in fuel cost.
We pledge also to continue to work with the Bahamas BPL and advocating for the signing of another hedging agreement to keep our fuel surcharge levels at a management level. And then we continue to pray that the current Russian-Ukraine issue does not have a negative impact on the industry going forward.
Well, the war in Ukraine may be one of the topics addressed at CARICOM's 33rd Intersessional Heads of Government meeting in Belize next week. It will be Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis's first CARICOM meeting since taking office last September. There, he's expected to discuss pertinent issues like the COVID-19 pandemic and its impact on the region and climate change. Press Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Clint Watson, says the nation's leader is set to make 2 interventions at Cabinet.
We're preparing those now. A number of areas, particularly the Bahamas heads the subcommittee for tourism, and so we have to make an intervention there as to what's happening regionally with tourism, particularly in light of what's going on with Ukraine and any impact that could possibly have. And so we are preparing very diligently to make great representation. It'll be the Prime Minister's first appearance at CARICOM, and so we look forward to those discussions. And as you know, in the next 2 rotations, the Bahamas will be chairing CARICOM, and so this meeting will set the foundation for Prime Minister Davis to take over the chairmanship in about 2 rounds, which will probably be by the end of this calendar year.
Well, not much to report on the COVID front today. Stats for February 24th showing just 3 cases, all of them on New Providence, one of the newly infected with a history of travel within 14 days. A further decline in hospitalizations as well. We're now down to 27 with 2 people on the intensive care unit. This while 3 people recovered from the virus on Thursday. The Pan American Health Organization, meantime, believes now may not be the best time to relax COVID-19 restrictions as many countries are facing a crest in the surge of infections. With Omicron still the variant of concern, PAHO Director Dr. Carissa Etienne this week called on countries to remain vigilant and to follow measures that save lives.
Although new cases dropped across the Caribbean by 44%, more than half of the 13 countries and territories that reported increases in deaths in our region were in the Caribbean. In the Bahamas, the virus continues to hit vulnerable groups. It is estimated that some 10% of healthcare workers are currently in quarantine due to COVID-related exposures. Grenada reported a 50% increase in ICU admissions, while Jamaica's rose by 23%, and Guadeloupe had a 9% rise as compared to the previous week.
Now, Dr. Etienne believes dialogue, trust, and outreach are the tools that must be used to get more COVID vaccines into arms, ultimately saving lives.
The best decision that you can make for your health right now is to get a vaccine against COVID. The pandemic is not over, and a new variant can emerge at any point. If you have been vaccinated, but you know someone who has not been, please reach out to them, listen to their concerns, and share information. Help them find a vaccination site. We have the power as a community to overcome these barriers and reduce the toll of this virus on our people.
The Bahamas to get a royal visit next month. The Cabinet Office announcing that the United Kingdom's Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, Prince William and his wife Catherine, will officially visit on March 24th to the 26th to mark Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee celebrations. Their Royal Highnesses are expected to visit New Providence, Grand Bahama and Abaco, as well as experience a major Junkanoo parade. The Bahamas is one of several stops on the Caribbean tour that includes first stops in Belize and Jamaica. A Kensington Palace release confirming that their Royal Highnesses wanted to meet as many people as possible, including children, young people and families, frontline workers, service personnel, government and business leaders, and charitable organizations. The response to COVID-19 will also prominently feature the royal visit as the Cambridges learn more about the pandemic's impact on the Caribbean and how communities have responded and faced challenges. Well, still to come, a symposium on good governance and the hotel union's update on the Hilton Hotel. We'll be back after the break.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
A lot has changed over the past 60 years, but at Commonwealth Bank, our mission to build lifelong relationships with our clients remains the same. Our customers are more than just a number. Our customers are our family, and together we create banking solutions that fit your unique needs. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy the best home internet experience for all your work, study, and entertainment.
Best rate, no delay. Best rate, no delay.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
Since eating at KFC, Shanika became the new savings meme. Get a KFC Mega Mash Bucket Meal with 8 pieces of tender, juicy chicken, a Mega Mashed Potato with gravy, and 4 buttery biscuits, starting at only $20, including VAT, and save like an expert at KFC. Order on WhatsApp at 557-3663. KFC Nassau.
Every journey starts with the first step, and mine starts here. I believed in Tokyo, the belief that we could be the best. We are drenched in Bahamian pride, no matter where we go. In 5 years, Alive built the Bahamas' best network, delivering faster speeds and stronger connections to all 700 islands and keys. Alive believed that every Bahamian deserved a world-class network and excellent customer service. I am proud to be Director of Speed and Connection.
Is total class. Look at her go. What a win.
As we continue to improve our lightning-fast, world-class network and connect with art, culture, and the world around us, never stop dreaming and never stop believing.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies Limited. If it's healthcare, it's here.
The rule of law, transparency, accountability, equity, and responsiveness in sharing information, the highlights of a one-day good governance symposium hosted by the Organization for Responsible Governance at Super Clubs Breezes today. Addressing the inaugural event, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honourable Chester Cooper, who pointed to his administration condemning corruption. In fact, he encouraged all Bahamians to grade their performance over the next 5 years.
The Davis-Cooper administration stands very strongly in support of good governance, and we will invite you to grade us on the basis of our actions and not just on our talks. Good governance will not simply come through the passing of legislation. Of course, checks and balances exist in abundance today, but yet we find ourselves still calling out for more. We must, of course, balance the bureaucracy and the checks and balances with the ease of doing business, which I know that org also supports. Make no mistake, more guidelines and guidance is needed, but it is our commitment in ensuring that when we speak of good governance, it's for the development and advancement of our country.
Here's Organization for Responsible Governance's Executive Director, Matt Aubrey, on the importance of the one-day event.
We have opportunities for folks to be here in person. We're really excited. We have a number of the ministers and senators. We have folks who are coming from the senior officials from government service, some of our civil society leaders. We're even joined by a contingent of high schoolers from C.R. Walker. We're so excited that they're a part of it, getting the next generation poised to take forward this particular issue of governance. But it's critical that today starts a dialogue that then continues on. We get caught up in the immediacy of the problems that we see every day, and we need to allocate some time to figure out how do we do things so that we don't keep coming up to the same challenges.
Well, just weeks after officially closing its doors, there's talk of a prospective buyer for the British Colonial Hilton Hotel. Carla Palmer spoke with the Hotel Union president today for this update.
The British Colonial Hilton Hotel downtown Nassau officially closed its doors on February 15th, and almost 2 weeks later, there are reports that the hotel may not only have a new buyer, but is expected to reopen soon, should the sale materialize. President of the Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union, Darren Woods, is confirming as much.
I got a call over the weekend, last weekend, someone who indicated they were interested in taking over, whether it's the management side or the entire property.
More than that, Woods says those very same employees who were recently disengaged are expected to be rehired.
They intend to re-engage all of the employees who were recently made redundant. And we have the view that that's because of the knowledge that they would have for the property as opposed to opening a new property with all new employees. And they indicated they're prepared to re-engage all of those workers in the refurbishment exercise that they're going to be undertaking in a few weeks. And then, of course, when the hotel fully reopens, then they will be employing more persons. So as many as 500 jobs based on, for the Hilton Hotel, what was said. But there are some, of course, approvals that have to be given from government, and they are working on those approvals as we speak.
Without naming the potential buyer, Woods says he's optimistic of what's being forecasted.
The initial stage is going to be a refurbishment and then a kind of reopening to deal with some of the contracts that they already have existing that they don't want to lose, and they want to be able to continue with those contracts. And those contracts would be with, like, the airlines and so forth. And they say they have the money based on some things that I would have cited. The funding is there. And I'm talking to the tune of millions of dollars.
Woods could not give a definitive timeline either to the start of the refurbishment or the reopening date, but estimates some 3 months. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
Revenue for the Bahamas Telecommunications Company is up $8 million over 2020, despite not still having recovered to pre-COVID-19 numbers. Press Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Clint Watson, says the company recently released its 2021 full-year revenue, which now stands at $189.9 million. Watson says BTC Deputy Chairman Valentine Grimes and board members discussed a number of issues with Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis this week.
The government received a $24.5 million dividend payment in December from BTC. Grimes said they were happy to be a part of finalizing that payment, as it represents only the second payment to be received since 2016. Both dividend payments were received under the PLP administrations.
Well, the current military action in Russia and Ukraine and the impact of inflation on the Bahamas among key highlights addressed on night 2 of the Free National Movement's convention at the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort Thursday evening. Desmond Saunders tells us more.
Some 500 F&M convention delegates took a trip down memory lane Thursday night as several speakers paid homage to the work and achievement of the organization's founding fathers and fighters over the past 50 years. The Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama, Kwesi Thompson, touched on the current reality of inflation, which is impacting food and fuel prices here at home. He's urging government to provide relief.
Remove VAT from breadbasket items. Restore VAT to 12% on property transactions of millionaires above $2 million and use that money to help the poor. Remove VAT on all locally produced food. Eliminate customs duty, excise taxes, shipping fees on certain items to reduce the cost of food and goods landed in the Bahamas.
The F&M's top man of the Senate, Darren Henfield, echoed similar sentiments.
This is why in Parliament last week we indicated that the cost of food in our country, which is admittedly driven by external events, is just too high. Inflation is now at 40-year highs. Shipping costs are almost prohibitive. The price of fuel will likely increase, and we will pay the price.
Attorney Ramona Farquharson and Member of Parliament for St. Barnabas and Deputy Leader Contender Shannon Cartwright shared some words of wisdom with delegates to move forward from its general election defeat and do some soul-searching in order to recapture the minds and hearts of the electorate.
Bahamians everywhere tonight, we say to you loudly and clearly, we heard you on September 16th. The Free National Movement hears you. Our leader, Michael Pintard, hears you.
Our party leaders must establish and execute the necessary mechanisms to be able to call in and bring in line any party officer, be they parliamentarian or not, who is not doing what is in the best interests of our party and indeed our country.
Party elections will dominate convention business on Friday as the event ends Friday night with a keynote address from party leader Michael Pintard. Desmond Saunders, ZNS Network News.
Well, as just indicated, several hours of voting at the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort ending with hundreds of F&M delegates electing new officers. Among the key positions, Deputy Leader and Chairman, which for the past 4+ years have been held down by former Deputy Prime Minister Peter Turnquist and Carl Culmer, respectively. We can tell you that the F&M's new Deputy Leader is St. Barnabas MP Shannon Cartwright, who secured 322 votes, and St. Anne's MP Adrian White receiving 101 votes. The F&M's new chairman is former Cabinet Minister and parliamentarian Dr. Dwayne Sands, who secured the post with 183 votes. His former cabinet colleague Ellsworth Johnson placed second with 169 votes, followed by Michael Folks, who got 83 votes. F&M officials confirming to our news team a 98% turnout of voting for the 101 candidates who vied for the party's leadership. And remember to tune in to the morning edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
We believe in relationship banking. We take pride in getting to know our client. You have access to knowledgeable, approachable ambassadors and financial coaches so that we can recommend the best product for you. At Fidelity, we care about you. From your financial health to your physical health, we can relate to you because we're just like you. Come and start your relationship banking experience with us today. Visit us online at fidelitygroup.com. Visit any of our branches in Nassau or Grand Bahama, or phone 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 for Freeport.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
My name is Alicia Poitea, and I've been using the Molfix brand for almost 10 years now. What I love about the Molfix brand is that it is of great quality, and I currently use it on my 2-year-old and my 5-month-old. I haven't had any issues with irritability or rashes or anything of that sort. What I love most about the Molfix brand is that I get value for money, and that to me is awesome.
The University of the Bahamas held a ceremony for the re-establishment of the College of Tourism, Hospitality, Culinary Arts, and Leisure Management. Acting Director General Latia Duncombe shared about the importance of this school.
In addition to having our natural resources, in addition to our sun, sand, and sea, in addition to perfecting hospitality as who we are as a nation, as a people, we're now going to undergird that from an academic perspective, from a technical perspective, from a vocational perspective, and position the Bahamas as a country of choice, as a brand of choice, where when the traveling community think and feel vacation, they think and feel the Bahamas. That's what we want them to see. That's what we want them to feel. Our products second to none. Our authentic experience that showcase our culture, our history, our heritage. And today I'm so excited. And I'm so excited because we've taken the position to leverage, to grow, and to become the best individuals we can be. We've taken the position to not only leverage and grow and become the best individuals, but to provide an opportunity for anyone that is interested in a career in the tourism industry. And I will tell you, we have everything. We have athletes, we have romance, we're in the world of romance, we're in sports. Whatever you think, as far as your mind can imagine, there's a career for you in the tourism industry.
For more information on the tourism industry, please visit www.bahamas.com. I'm Danielle Bodie, and this is Tourism Today.
Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
The country's lull in homicides ending last evening with not one, but 2 fatal shootings in the capital, the first on Blue Hill Road, south of Cowpen Road, sometime after 7 p.m. Investigating officers found a man lying on the western side of the street with gunshot wounds about the body. EMS personnel pronounced him dead on the scene. About 3 hours later, crime scene detectives headed to Pond Lane, Black Village. Here's Police Press Liaison Officer Superintendent Audley Peters with the initial details.
On their arrival, they met 2 males suffering from gunshot wounds. EMS was called, and as a result, they completed their assessment. One of the males succumbed to his injuries on scene. The other was taken to the hospital where he's being treated and is listed in serious condition. Our initial investigations indicate that 2 males were sitting under a tree when a small vehicle came through the street, and 2 males exited that vehicle brandishing firearms. They discharged their weapons in the direction of the male, hitting them, resulting in one being hospitalized and the other being succumbing to his injury.
Police say at this point, it doesn't appear the 2 victims, both in their 20s, are related.
We cannot reiterate enough that if you see something, say something. These are your communities you live in, and you are just as responsible for policing your communities as we are. Contact the Criminal Investigations Department at 502-9991 or 2.
Meantime, a woman's expected to face formal charges after being caught with an illegal firearm last night. The woman was reportedly arrested while officers were on routine mobile patrol in the area of Lily of the Valley corner.
She was along with a male culprit who exited the vehicle and made good his escape. But we want that male to know that we're going to get you, knowing that we have your partner. And I've said it before, that everyone who has a firearm, somebody else knows that they have that firearm. And so now we have a female in custody who will be brought before the courts because of her knowledge and being in the vicinity and perhaps well aware or maybe complicit of some previous incident.
Crossing over to police-issued flyers, your help's needed in the case of Christopher Julian Newbold. The 14-year-old is missing. Police said the number 19 Meadow Street resident was last seen in the area of West Street on Tuesday, January 4th. He stands at exactly 5 feet tall, is dark-skinned and medium build. If you can help police locate the missing teenager, please contact the Criminal Investigation Division at 502-9991, 502-9992, Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS, your nearest police station, or download the P3 Tips app. From a missing report, we turn our attention now to wanted men. First up, 54-year-old Errol Knowles Sr. of Isabella Avenue off Marathon Road, who's been sought by the Financial Crime Investigation Branch for check fraud. Knowles is said to be 5 feet 8 inches tall with a brown complexion and a medium build. Financial investigators are also searching for 23-year-old Blair Michael Campbell for fraud. The 5 feet 8 inches tall Kingfish Drive resident has a brown complexion and slim build. Stealing by reason of service is why financial crime investigators are searching for 31-year-old Henry Toussaint. Police describe the Crepe Myrtle Drive Gardens Hill resident as a 5 feet 11 inches tall, slim build, and dark-skinned. If you can assist the Financial Crimes Investigation Branch in locating any of these three men, please call 356-6019-911 or your nearest police station. Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Bahamas group of companies is celebrating women in technology. We're taking this opportunity to pause and highlight the leading ladies in information, communication, and technology who are breaking stereotypes and shattering glass ceilings. We hope you'll join us in honoring the tremendous girl power that keeps our community connected.
Good to grow, keeping you in the know, keeping you in the know. God, if it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. If it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
We're here at the Bahamas Agriculture and Marine Institute here in North Andros, where we'll be taking an official tour and speaking with staff about the livestock and crops at the institution. That's seedling supervisor Johnny Roll. He's been working at BAMSI for 4 years, and he enjoys watching the plants grow from seeds to fruit-bearing trees.
There's some onion, what we have also in the trays. You pluck them out and put them in the ground, and in the seed bed, you have to go roll them up and pull them apart.
On the outside of the greenhouse, Roll has his work cut out for him with several potted plants waiting to be planted.
And right here, we have some mango trees also to put in the ground, some more salsa, and this is some ginger.
Fields are being prepared for those seedlings using a disking method.
They continually cut into the bedrock of the soil, and the more you disc,
the more nutrients come out of those rocks and goes into the soils. And so this can help you to increase your soil health over time as well. As you can see over there, these beds have been freshly pulled. This machine attaches the drip lines. We utilize drip irrigation. It cuts down water wastage. It allows the water to go directly to the root. And so, you know, simple.
Executive Chairman of BAMSI, Terrell Young, says one of his goals is to make BAMSI work with farmers to produce more crops needed to support the Bahamian diet.
We are working collaboratively to help the farmers to focus on particular crops and livestock that the country actually needs, that is in high demand. Two, they are also lucrative products.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, from Andros, I'm Georgia Bain.
The Elbow Reef Lighthouse Society officials sign a memorandum of understanding with the Port Department. It's the first time the Port Department has partnered with a local community-based organization to oversee a Bahamian lighthouse. Through the agreement, the port secures the light station's annual upkeep and maintenance budget. The close relationship between the Society and the Port Department should enable the Elbow Reef Lighthouse to remain a symbol of national pride well into the future. Family Island hotels continue to perform well, and this despite the ongoing COVID pandemic. That according to Bahamas Out Island Promotion Board Executive Director Kerry Fountain, who says based on performance, the number of room nights sold by the end of March 31st should be at about 93% over the same period in 2019.
In terms of room revenue, we again, how it's pacing, we think we're going to hit 90% instead of our goal of 86% in terms of room revenue. If we were to look at, and as you all may recall, we break our numbers down into 4 different areas. We have the larger hotels with 50 rooms or more, and then we go 50 rooms or less for Northern Bahamas, Central Bahamas, and the Southern Bahamas. In terms of how our larger hotels are performing, in terms of room nights sold, first quarter this year compared to first quarter in 2019, we're hitting about maybe 80%.
Now, increased airlift to some of the Family Islands is also expected to boost hotel revenue.
Come June 6th of this year, Delta Airlines will reintroduce nonstop service from Atlanta to Marsh Harbor, Abaco 5 days a week. So we're very excited about that. And then we're also, just to add some optimism, we're also very excited that Canada is finally open, and also France, UK, and Germany. So all in all, we're cautiously optimistic.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makishla. We are under mostly clear skies with a temperature of 77 degrees. Your relative humidity at 57%, easterly winds at 9 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,022.1 millibars. That's 30.18 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 75 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Greenville. Key Abaco, Marsh Harbor at 77. 75 in the Berry Islands, 77 in Allenstown. Bimini, Harbor Island, 75 degrees. Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 76. 75 in Black Point, Exuma, Kemp Space, South Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. Allenstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, Rum Key, and Georgetown, Exuma reporting 76 degrees. 77s in Ragged Island, Clarence Sound, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Acklands, and the Turks and Caicos Islands, Matchetown, Nagua at 78 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. In the northwestern islands tonight, easterly winds at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Low tide will take place at 9:03 tonight in the central and southeastern islands. The winds are going to be northeast at 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet, with caution flags in place. And then tomorrow, Saturday, in the northwestern islands, the winds start backing, becoming northeast to east at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights unchanged at 2 to 4 feet. Low tide 10:15 in the morning, high tide at 4:02 in the afternoon. For the central and southeasterly, easterly flow 12 to 18, wave heights 3 to 6 feet. And on Sunday, in the northwestern islands, the wind stays out of the east at 10 to 15 knots, the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Low tide on Sunday will take place at 11:17 in the morning, with a high tide at 5:06 in the afternoon. Now for the central and southeastern islands, easterly winds once again with that moderate flow at 12 to 18 knots, maintaining the caution flags and the wave heights at 3 to 6 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals, and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Hungry and looking for something so satisfying? Something to truly tantalize your taste buds? Then make it Charlie's, the home of the #1 cheesesteak in the world. Also serving up a variety of delicious wings, freshly cooked to order under 10 minutes, with 2 locations to serve you. Mall at Marathon, open from 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. and the East-West Highway next to Solomon's from 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. That's Charlie's, the home of the #1 cheesesteak in the world. 393-3100.
I save, you save, we all save at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Kraft macaroni and cheese dinner, 7¼ ounce, 2 for $2.09. Best Value ketchup, 32 ounce, 2 for $5. Best Value cornflakes, 18 ounce, $2.79. Premium boneless chuck steak or roast, $6.99 per pound. Sweet strawberries, 1 pound, $3.99. Save each day at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to sports, everybody. Bahamian female basketball player Jonquil Jones, who plays for Ekaterinburg in Russia, taking to Twitter informing her fans and the Bahamian public that she is safe and protected despite the war that is going on between Russia and Ukraine. She did not indicate, however, exactly where she is, but her team's game on Sunday is still scheduled to be played. The second half of the NBA season resuming last night, DeAndre Ayton and the Phoenix Suns winning their 8th straight game, 124-120 over the OKC Thunder. The Bahamian big man had 6 points and 8 rebounds. Buddy Hield still adjusting to his new team, the Indiana Pacers. They start their second half tonight against the Thunder, who will be playing on consecutive nights.
Can't wait to get out there, make sure that I'm here to play basketball and how to change the culture and win, and give it all I got. And that's what I was gonna do. So I leave on the court. And I love playing basketball. I always say if I wasn't home every day, I'd be playing basketball every day. Every guy does that. So even when I'm hurt, I'm gonna go there and give it my all.
Coach Yolette McPhee-McQuinn and the Ole Miss Running Rebels women's basketball team have now won 4 in a row. Their latest triumph coming last night on the road, 72-52 over Auburn.
Tonight, it was about us continuing to write our story, Team 47. And we were aware that we hadn't had a double-digit conference season since 1992. And so we wanted to continue to etch our story in the history books. Really proud of our team. I thought we came out and was focused. We didn't even practice. So we did a lot of film prep and had shoot around. And I thought that the group took it seriously and was really focused for 40 minutes.
Team Bahamas into the playoff round yesterday, the North Central American and Caribbean pre-qualifying tennis tournament in El Salvador. The boys team of William McCartney, Jackson McTaggart, and Gerald Carroll swept all 3 matches against Costa Rica, and they moved on to play the Dominican Republic with the spot in the championship round on Saturday on the line. Meantime, our girls team of Sari Clark, Brianne Ferguson, and Rachel Thompson lost 2-1 to the host country and will now play for 5th and 6th place. The Northeast Conference Swimming Championships taking place in Ohio. Bahamians representing well for the Howard Bison. Luke Kennedy Thompson won the 500 freestyle in a school and meet record time of 4 minutes and 29 seconds. Mark Anthony Thompson also in that event swimming 4:42.92, which was the 4th fastest time in school history. Luke Kennedy also swimming a school record in the 400 individual medley, finishing 2nd in 4:02.06. Errol Thompson in that event as well, swimming the 5th fastest time in school history, 4:17.03. Errol also the 200 IM, swimming 1:55.19, 3rd fastest in school history there. As for the relays, another school record for Luke Kennedy. He was a part of the 800 freestyle team, which finished 2nd in 6:42.35. On the ladies' side, Zaylee Elizabeth Thompson helping the Bison to a record as well. They finished in 7:46.29. Individually, Zaylee Elizabeth also swimming the 200 IM, finishing 10th in 2:06.37. Well, the 2nd annual Bahamas National High School Golf Championships will take place next month. All stakeholders fully on board.
The opportunity is now being brought locally to our children, public and private school. It says a lot about the direction our country is going into. And we know that in order to develop a very strong presence in sports, as in everything else, you have to begin with the foundation. And the foundation and the growth of every country is the success of their youth. To have 200 plus children perform in a national championship, that is awesome. This is what it's about.
Initiatives such as this tournament provides invaluable exposure for our young athletes of a sport that offers numerous scholarships for higher education and to a sport that teaches self-control, patience, mental alertness, among others.
Young men and women from the grassroots community, like myself, would not ordinarily have an opportunity to play a sport like golf. I believe in the grassroots community, there are plenty diamonds in the rough. And in short order, I will welcome them as part of our Olympic team.
That's a look at sport. Check on weather up next.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
When you want to save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you want to look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Avery's has been around from 1992 in an area far away from most things. In 2018, I picked up the mantle. At the onset I would have taken over, I was connected to Game of Bahamas, and I'm always trying to enhance my Avery's package. And I wanted to expand my customer satisfaction through technology. Everybody comes in and they want to use the Wi-Fi. They want to be able to go live, show off the food and the ambience and the entertainment. So since I've been using the Aero device, my buffering almost went to zero. There's no interruption in that service, which is phenomenal. I would recommend the Aero device to anyone to use it. It works.
Every journey starts with the first step, and mine starts here.
So tight. Is she going to get there?
I believed in Tokyo, the belief that I could be, we could be the best. We are drenched in Bahamian pride, no matter where we go. In 5 years, Alive built the Bahamas' best network, delivering faster speeds and stronger connections to all 700 islands and keys. Alive believed that every Bahamian deserved a world-class network and excellent customer service. I am proud to be Director of Speed and Connection.
Shawnee Miller-Weibo is total class. Look at her go. What a win.
As we continue to improve our lightning-fast, world-class network and connect with art, culture, and the world around us, never stop dreaming and never stop believing.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, that area of high pressure, which has been influencing our weather over the past week, will slowly start to move towards the east, and that will give way for the arrival of a weak front system that will get in here sometime on Monday. So we'll see some slight changes in our temperatures heading into next week. Our forecast for tonight, partly cloudy and mild with a low temperature just around 70 degrees. And tomorrow, not a beautiful day, mostly sunny and warm, high temperature around 81 degrees. And your extended weather forecast through the weekend, lovely weather despite the fact that that front is coming through practically unnoticed in terms of cloud cover, but those temperatures will remain quite nice during the nighttime. They're going to keep you very comfortable with temperatures in the upper 60s. Makishla.
Oh, thanks, Basil. Well, it's taking social media by storm. The Drop It Challenge featuring a hit song by American musical artist Beyonce. And staff here at ZNS decided to get in on the action as well. Take a look. Well, just to let you know, I would have failed miserably at that. And that does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
watching your parents them over there watching you. You want gangbang?
It's back.
You're here because your parents decided to put you in here.
The groundbreaking reality series returns.
You never shown me before? You raise your hand at me?
Do you know it's still time to get it together?
With never before seen footage.
Come punch me then. Send you to punch him, mommy. You punch me?
This ain't no playground. You're gonna know before you leave today. If you leave, if they find some space, I just teach you all how to disrespect.
It's a whole new season.
Don't come here with your movie face, because I ain't buying it.
Watch their transformation.
It bears to be a winner. It bears to be a winner. Being white, you are a unit. You moving as one.
So why you doing what you do? The Ministry of National Security and the ZNS Network presents Shark Treatment. A whole new season coming soon.
There are a few important tips for parents, students, staff, and school visitors to ensure healthy and safe environments for face-to-face learning. Children and staff should remain at home if they display symptoms consistent with COVID-19, such as cough, diarrhea, severe headache, vomiting, or body aches. Have a temperature of 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit or above. Have had contact with an individual diagnosed with COVID-19. Here are additional tips for parents of school-aged children. Ensure that your children are up to date with all recommended vaccines. Provide them with and check their personal protective equipment or PPEs, including hand sanitizers, sanitizing wipes, and hand towels. Provide children with a set of guidelines to govern their movement at school, on the bus, aboard a ferry, or while walking. Teach children proper hygiene and health protocols, such as covering the mouth and nose with a tissue to cough or cough and sneeze into the elbow, and to always practice social distancing. All visitors to school campuses should complete a self-check before seeking entrance. Visitors will not be allowed to enter campuses if they are experiencing symptoms of congestion, dry cough, breathing difficulties, sore throat, and/or chills. Let's follow these steps to ensure a safe and healthy school year.
Shalom, I'm Arthur Bailey, apostle and overseer of Arthur Bailey Ministries and House of Israel International, inviting you to join us for Searching the Scriptures on this station every Sunday at 9 a.m. I look forward to searching the Scriptures with you and your family. That's 9 a.m. on Sunday. Check it out, and your life will never be the same in Yeshua's name.
So, Mr. Bodie, here you're doing a show. Yes, sir. It's called The Last Word. Yes, sir. Why do you think The Last Word is the appropriate title for the show? Well, the last word connotates that it is an authoritative expression on issues. And I do believe that, in my experience, I would have the last word. So we deal with the issues that impact individuals and the nation, the last word. Well, I mean, why not? Well, I guess that ends that. That ends that, but it don't end that like that, because the public is invited to call in and participate in all of the shows that we're going to be doing going forward. And I'm excited. How about you? The last word, Arthur H. Bodie Jr. It's the only way to go.
You in the precious name of Jesus, the name that is above every name.
It's revival time. The Bahamas National Baptist Missionary and Educational Convention will hold its annual Baptist Power and Praise Revival 2022 from February 27th to March 4th. The opening service will be brought to you live from Bethel Baptist Church Meeting Street on Sunday, February 27th from 8 to 9 p.m. Tune in right here on the ZNS Radio and Television Network.
Bahamas is a very beautiful place. We have sandy beaches and clear waters. We have a lot of tourists coming here. We like to dance and make music.
The Bahamas is a chain of islands surrounded by water. It is about 60 miles from Florida.
We live on Andros Island.
One of the most beautiful treasures we have in the Bahamas is a coral reef. Some people call it the jewel of the Bahamas.
A coral reef is a massive limestone formation which is built up by millions of little tiny creatures called polyps, which are related to the jellyfish family. I'm Nicholas Nuttall. I founded BREEF, the Bahamas Reef Environment Educational Foundation. People talk about the coral reefs as being the rainforests of the ocean, like a huge bank of trees with all sorts of things living in and off them. Coral reefs are abundant in the Bahamas, or were, up until a few years ago. We have the third longest coral reef in the world.
In the past 20 years, a lot of the coral reef have died.
The coral reefs are endangered because some people throw